Life on Earth is a marvel. It teems with an astonishing variety of plants and animals, from the towering redwoods to the tiniest insects. But have you ever stopped to wonder how all this diversity came to be? The answer lies in a powerful, ongoing process called evolution. Evolution is the gradual change in the characteristics of a species over many generations. It's a process driven by a simple yet profound principle: survival of the fittest. This means that individuals with traits better suited to their environment are more likely to survive, reproduce, and pass on those advantageous traits to their offspring. Imagine a vast canvas, a tapestry woven over millions of years. Each thread represents a different species, its color and texture reflecting unique adaptations. Evolution is the artist, constantly adding new threads, blending colors, and creating intricate patterns. The result? The breathtaking diversity of life we witness today. This grand process of evolution is not just a thing of the past, it's happening right now, all around us, shaping the future of life on our planet. Imagine a population of beetles living on a dark-colored tree trunk. Some beetles are green, while others are brown. Now imagine a hungry bird that loves to feast on beetles. The green beetles, standing out against the dark bark, are easy targets for the bird. The brown beetles, however, blend in with the bark, making it harder for the bird to spot them. This simple example illustrates natural selection, the driving force behind evolution. The brown beetles, better camouflaged, have a higher chance of survival. They are more likely to reproduce and pass on their brown coloration to their offspring. Over time, the population of beetles will likely become dominated by brown individuals. This process of natural selection, happening over many generations, can lead to the evolution of new species. Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, observed this phenomenon in finches on the Galapagos Islands. He noticed that finches on different islands had different beak shapes, each adapted to the specific food sources available on that island. From the camouflage of beetles to the beaks of finches, natural selection constantly shapes and molds life, favoring traits that increase survival and reproductive success. Where do these advantageous traits like brown coloration in beetles or different beak shapes in finches come from? The answer lies in the fascinating world of genes. Genes are the blueprints of life, containing the instructions for building and maintaining an organism. Sometimes these blueprints undergo small, random changes called mutations. Mutations can happen in various ways, such as errors during DNA replication. Most mutations are neutral, having no significant effect on the organism. However, some mutations can be beneficial, leading to new traits that give an individual an advantage in its environment. Imagine a mutation in a plant that makes its leaves slightly thicker. This seemingly insignificant change might allow the plant to conserve more water, giving it an edge in a dry climate. Over time, this beneficial mutation could spread through the plant population, leading to a more drought-resistant species. Mutations are the ultimate source of genetic variation, the raw material upon which natural selection acts. They are the sparks of change that ignite the evolutionary process. Picture a field of wildflowers, a vibrant tapestry of colors and shapes. This diversity is not just beautiful, it's essential for the survival of the wildflowers. Genetic variation, the differences in the genetic makeup of individuals within a population, is crucial for a species' ability to adapt to changing environments. Now, imagine a disease sweeps through the field, targeting a specific flower color. If all the wildflowers were genetically identical, they would all be equally susceptible to the disease, and the entire population could be wiped out. However, with genetic variation, some wildflowers might possess genes that make them resistant to the disease. These resistant individuals would survive, reproduce, and pass on their resistance genes to their offspring. Over time, the population would evolve, becoming more resistant to the disease. This ability to adapt to environmental challenges is directly linked to the amount of genetic variation within a population. The more diverse the gene pool, the greater the chance that some individuals will possess traits that allow them to survive and reproduce in the face of change. Genetic variation is the insurance policy of life, ensuring the continuation of species in an ever-changing world. The power of evolution is evident in countless examples of adaptation throughout the natural world. Consider the peppered moth, a species found in England. Before the Industrial Revolution, most peppered moths were light-colored, blending in with the lichen-covered trees they rested on. However, as pollution from factories darkened the trees, the light-colored moths became easy prey for birds. Enter a beneficial mutation. A small number of moths possessed a gene for dark coloration. These darker moths were now better camouflaged against the soot-covered trees, giving them a survival advantage. Over time, the population of peppered moths shifted from predominantly light-colored to predominantly dark-colored, a classic example of natural selection in action. Another striking example is the evolution of antibiotic resistance in bacteria. When antibiotics were first introduced, they were hailed as miracle drugs, effectively killing many types of bacteria. However, some bacteria possessed mutations that made them resistant to these drugs. As antibiotics were overused, these resistant bacteria survived and reproduced at higher rates, passing on their resistance genes. Today, antibiotic resistance is a major public health threat, highlighting the rapid and relentless power of evolution. From the wings of butterflies to the microscopic world of bacteria, evolution is a constant force shaping life in response to environmental pressures. Section 6. Small steps, big changes, microevolution versus macroevolution. Evolution is often described as a slow and gradual process, unfolding over vast stretches of time. While this is true, it's important to distinguish between two levels of evolutionary change, microevolution and macroevolution. Microevolution refers to small-scale changes within a population over a relatively short period. These changes might involve shifts in allele frequencies, such as the increase in the frequency of the dark coloration gene in the peppered moth population. Microevolution can be observed directly, even within a human lifetime. Macroevolution, on the other hand, describes large-scale evolutionary changes that lead to the formation of new species or even higher taxonomic groups. These changes typically occur over much longer periods, often millions of years. Macroevolution is not easily observable within a human lifespan but is supported by a wealth of evidence from fossils, genetics, and comparative anatomy. Think of a branching tree as an analogy for evolution. Microevolution represents the growth and changes within a single branch, while macroevolution represents the formation of new branches, leading to the incredible diversity of life we see today. Section 7. Echoes of the past. Evidence for evolution unfolds. The evidence for evolution is written in the very fabric of life itself. From fossils to DNA, evidence supports evolution. Fossils provide a window into the past. They trace changes in species over millions of years. For example, horse fossils show a clear progression. Genetic analysis offers compelling evidence. Comparing DNA reveals how closely related species are. Similar DNA sequences indicate a recent common ancestor. This has revolutionized our understanding of evolution. Comparative anatomy shows similarities suggesting shared ancestry. Human, bat, and whale forelimbs share the same bone structure. These structures provide strong evidence for common ancestry. The evidence for evolution is vast and constantly growing. Section 8. Debunking the myths. Setting the record straight. Despite overwhelming evidence, misconceptions about evolution persist. It's essential to address these myths and present the facts. One myth is that evolution is just a theory. Evolution is supported by a vast body of evidence. Another myth is that evolution is a linear progression. Evolution is a branching tree, not a ladder. Different lineages evolve at different rates. Evolution has no goal or direction. Addressing these myths promotes a better understanding of evolution. Section 9. Evolution's legacy, a foundation for understanding life. Evolution is not just a theory about the past, it's a fundamental principle that underpins all of biology. It provides a unifying framework for understanding the diversity of life, the relationships between organisms, and the ongoing processes that shape the natural world. From medicine to agriculture, conservation to biotechnology, evolution has profound implications for many aspects of our lives. Understanding evolution helps us develop new antibiotics, breed more resilient crops, and protect endangered species. Evolution also has philosophical implications, challenging us to reconsider our place in the grand scheme of life. We are not separate from nature but rather a part of it, products of the same evolutionary processes that gave rise to all living things. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of life, evolution will remain our essential guide, illuminating the interconnectedness of all living organisms and our shared journey on this planet.